Looks like we're having technical issues. Where's my intro?
Welcome to the Sarah Finkelstein Show, where the next 10 minutes can change your life. Also on Spotify, SoundCloud, and iHeartRadio. Here's Sarah.
Hi. Today's topic has to do with something that's very important to many, many Americans, and it has to do with retirement plans. So the question is, has the pandemic affected your plans for your own retirement? I just came across a study recently, actually, it was last week, on this very, very topic that we're talking about. Some people are planning to retire sooner than they had expected, and some people are planning to delay their retirement. So this is very interesting. Why would somebody decide to retire sooner than they had originally expected? Well, a couple of things come to mind. One of which is because people are living longer than ever before, and for those individuals that might find themselves needing care, typically their children or other relatives take care of them. So maybe that's why some people are deciding to retire sooner so that they could help out their loved ones. Another reason might be, and we all have heard of this, I'm sure, that some people have gotten laid off of work because they did not want to get the vaccination. So that's why a lot of people have left the workforce. But those are just a couple of reasons. I'm sure there's many, many more. Now, what about for those people that are delaying retirement? In other words, they're planning to work a little bit longer. Could inflation be one of those reasons? And we all know inflation is very high right now. It's the highest that it's been in over 40 years. And if you know this, you probably know this, that inflation erodes your purchasing power. So what a dollar bought 2 years ago, we need more than a dollar to buy the same products that a dollar bought 2 years ago. So let's delve into the report that I came across recently. And this is a report that Northwestern Mutual did. They did a study back in 2021, and they came out with the results of this report is 35% of people changed the age of when they plan to retire. So again, some of them retire sooner and others are delaying for a number of years. But this is very interesting. Of the ones who are planning to delay their retirement, 13% of those people will delay by 1 to 2 years. 39% will delay by 3 to 5 years. And 12% will delay 6 to 10 years. And 35% will delay by more than 10 years. So that's really astounding. Can you imagine delaying your retirement by 6 to 10 years more than what you had anticipated to do? And then there was another report that I came across, which has to do with retirement confidence. In this 2021 Retirement Confidence Survey conducted by the Employee Benefit Research Institute and Greenwald Research, 33% of workers and 25% of retirees say the pandemic has made them somewhat or significantly less confident that they will have enough to live comfortably throughout retirement. Now, that's a very interesting point because a lot of people have not sat down and put pen to paper to figure out how much they will need in retirement. Some people think that a small amount, like $100,000, is going to be enough for their retirement, and I wish it were, but that is not the case. You will need a lot more money to be able to retire. So is it time to revisit your retirement goals? And actually, I think the answer to that is yes. It's always a good time to revisit not only your retirement goals, but your overall financial goals. And here's something that people do a lot is we spend so much time planning a vacation. We spend more time planning our vacations than we spend time planning our financial futures. So it's always a good idea to take the time to sit down, write out what your goals are, write out your budget, and within your budget, there are fixed costs, like those things that don't change, like maybe a mortgage or premium payments for insurance. And there are some things that do change, but it's always good to sit down and put that on paper so you could see it. You could see it black on white. It's funny how people will be out during the day, maybe they're working, they're doing shopping, whatever they're doing, and we spend without thinking. We might stop at our local favorite coffee shop, get our favorite drink. It might be $4, $5, $6. We don't even think about it. And that extra money adds up. It adds up enough where it could make a huge difference over time in your own nest egg. So what is your budget? There are ways to save money that most people are not aware of. There are ways to find the money to do the things that are important to you. And you know that saying, a penny saved is a penny earned. Yes, it's very true. Every dollar that you save is more money in your pocket, and it all adds up. So here's something that some retirees do. When they get to retirement, they sacrifice themselves. In other words, they may not do household improvements. They may not get rid of that old carpeting. They may not go on those trips that they had been planning for decades. Why? Because they want to leave money to their children and grandchildren. And so they sacrifice themselves for the love that they have for their family, their heirs. But there may be, and actually there are, more effective ways to leave money to your children and grandchildren than sacrificing in your golden years. And by the way, have you heard of this? There are actually 3 phases in your retirement plans in terms of what you do with your time. So usually when we just retire, we're all excited because now we have the time to do the things that we've always wanted to do. So a very well-known financial author talks about it this way. Those are called the go-go years. In other words, you go, 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 right? You go on this trip, you go on that trip, you do all these wonderful activities. You may go around the country visiting friends or family. That is the first stage of your retirement years, and that is called the go-go years, followed by the slow go years. In other words, you slow down. You don't do as much as you used to. You're not as active as you used to be. That's stage 2. And then the third stage in your retirement years is called the no-go years. In other words, you're not really going on trips. You're not doing too much. You're pretty much staying home because you feel comfortable at home. Now, of course, this is not 100% absolute. We know everybody's slightly different, but think about it. The go-go years followed by the slow go years, followed by the no-go years. So it's very interesting. I just participating in a health fair last week. And when people come by my table, they say, what do you do? And I said, well, I do retirement planning. Now, retirement planning under that umbrella is not just about your retirement plans. Retirement planning consists of Medicare. It consists of long-term care planning because people are living longer than ever before, and many of us will need long-term care. Under the retirement planning umbrella is also Social Security, how to maximize your Social Security retirement benefits. There's also life insurance. There's also income plans. There are many pieces under that retirement planning umbrella. And it's very interesting because people will stop by my table and say, oh, I'm already retired. Well, that doesn't mean that you can't improve upon your situation. There's always room for improvement, even if you've already retired. Because one thing that seniors typically struggle with is depleting their savings to meet their expenses. And there are solutions to combat that. So there are many solutions that people don't know about. And do not think that once you're retired, that's it. You cannot make any improvements. You can. I assure you, you can. It's never too late to make good changes to your plan. Another thing that people don't think about is if you decide to retire sooner, how will you cover your healthcare needs if you won't have health insurance from a job anymore? Now, we all know there is COBRA, but that's for a limited amount of time, and it's also very expensive. If your spouse works, then maybe you can jump on your spouse's health insurance plan at their group health insurance, or maybe a health share plan. And if you know anyone or if you're in that predicament, give me a call. I'll be happy to point you in the right direction. So here's a few tips I'd like to share with you in regards to your retirement plan, as well as your overall financial planning. Number one, review your budget. Most people don't know what their budget is. Number two, take a look at how you're invested for your financial future. And as we get older, we may have to make some changes with those asset allocations. Number three, very important, pay yourself first. We all have bills to pay, but we need to pay ourselves first in the form of saving. Number four is there's always going to be unexpected expenses, especially when it comes to healthcare in our retirement years. Number five, you need to tweak your plan along the way. And that is throughout the decades. As things change, as your needs change, as your goals change, you need to make tweaks along the way. So lastly, I'd like to offer you the opportunity to download a free report with financial tips. You can download the report. Just go to www.financialfitnessforever.com and you can download the report right there. And by the way, I am working on my second book as we speak. So 4 years ago, I published a book called Wisdom for Women. I am now working on my second book. And once it's available, I will tell you all about it.
Knowledge is power, but only when you implement what you've learned to your own benefit. Tune in next time for even more powerful tips on The Sarah Finkelstein Show.